We just help producers kind of get to that next level and also get paid for it, help them out financially.
Hello and welcome to this edition of the State of Soy. I'm Aaron Putsey and I'm visiting today in eastern Iowa with two representatives of the Soil and Water Outcomes Fund, Joe Winchell and Corey McKinney. And you know, we're here to talk about the Soil and Water Outcomes Fund and a lot of the exciting work, important work that you're involved in. But maybe for viewers of the State of Soy who maybe they've heard about the Soil and Water Outcomes Fund, but we haven't really had a chance to dive in, explain it.
So the Soil and Water Outcomes Fund started in 2019 as a 9,500 acre pilot project in the state of Iowa. Great collaboration between several organizations and obviously the Iowa Soybean Association. From there, you know, we've worked with multiple partners to grow to, in 2023, we enrolled over 330,000 acres across 14 states. Our goal in 2024 is to grow that footprint to over 750,000 acres. We work with farmers to implement conservation practices across the new acres. So working with farmers that are new or looking to expand practices across their acres, across their operations.
So farmers, Corey, are hearing about Soil and Water Outcomes Fund perhaps for the first time. Why do you want them to stop and learn a bit more and perhaps connect with you? What is the purpose and what's in it for them?
Yeah, for sure. I think the Soil and Water Outcomes Fund is a great opportunity for folks to either get their toes wet in conservation practices, maybe that's reducing their tillage, adding cover crops, as well as like we're visiting out here at Mark McGorry today, being able to expand that operation. If he had tried cover crops in the past, we got connected with the Soil and Water Outcomes Fund. We were that perfect avenue to let him, pretty sure he's at all of his acres now, converted to no-till cover crops. And we just, help producers kind of get to that next level and also get paid for it, help them out financially.
So it's April, it's cold, it can be cold this time of year, and we're out in the field. And that's the beautiful part about what you do. You work and network with partners. They want to see what it's leading to. So share a little bit about some of the partners you're working with, including PepsiCo, who is here on the ground seeing the fruits of their investment and their partnership with farmers and with the Soil and Water Outcomes Fund.
Today's a great opportunity for Pepsi, right? A lot of these people are immersed in agriculture, but maybe don't see the day-to-day and step a foot into a field. So, being able to go out and talk with Mark, look at those cover crops, feel the wind like we're having today, really brings things full circle of, what are we working for our ESG goals, where Pepsi wants to be, what are these producers doing on the ground through the Soil and Water Outcomes Fund to help some of our food and beverage companies get to those goals over the next few years.
For farmers who are coming on board and kind of looking around, when they reach out to you, what are some of the questions that kind of come up very early in the conversation?
Number one question we get a lot, we fully understand, hey, I'm already implementing these practices. What am I required or do I qualify? We do require, additionality or new practice be implemented. But I really encourage folks to sit down and take the time to reach out to us, talk to one of my field program reps, and understand what additionality can happen in your fields. Is that the crop rotation at the field level? So really diving down deep and understanding that, as well as what am I going to get paid? What's the contract length? What if something happens and I can't uphold my end of the deal? It's very obvious when you get to know our program that we are foundation of the Iowa Soybean Association and farmer-friendly, farmer-focused.
The beauty of the Soil and Water Outcomes Fund is that payment is separated and they'll get half of that payment towards the beginning of their contract. We kind of show that in a trust in them. We trust that you're going to do what you need to do. And then after verification, right, we're all on the same page that the practice got done, they'll get that second half. And that's a common thing we hear about producers is, hey, you were working with so-and-so and you haven't seen a check in a couple years, right? We got ours from SWAF within a month. So
probably some good word of mouth, right, out there and talking to other growers. Give farmers that URL and how they can connect, and when they do, what can they expect? Because you're pretty timely in following up with farmers once they reach out.
Absolutely. So if a farmer's curious about enrolling in the Soil and Water Outcomes Fund, go to our website, theoutcomesfund.com, or Google Soil and Water Outcomes Fund. We'll be there at the top. And one of two things, you can either create a user account right there at our website. We do ask for county and state. By doing that, we assign a staff person. So you'll be reached out to within 24, 48 hours of creating that account by a staff person that's local to your area that can sit down with you, explain the program, and go over the intricacies.
Well, as you can see, the Soil and Water Outcomes Fund with team members like Corey and Joe are hitting it hard, working with growers. And again, the Iowa Soybean Association, proud to be a catalyst for the Soil and Water Outcomes Fund and also a continuing partner of their important work. Reporting for this edition of the State of Soy, I'm Aaron Putsey.
Progress is a human invention. We look at our world and we imagine how to make it better. That's the power of human ingenuity. We can redefine what's possible. At Bayer, we're shaping the future of agriculture. Like farms where all life grows together. It's not impossible, it's progress.